Hello and welcome to another episode of Podfulness. Let's get started.
Back for another episode of Podfulness. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And please follow us on Instagram at Podfulness is the handle. And follow our channel on YouTube. And if you like what you're seeing and hearing, please share it with other people in your life that you love or that you like. You don't have to love them. You can just like them. That'd be great. So a little bit about me. I have a background in television. And a long time ago, I was a children's television personality. It was a solid decade before any of my guests this season were even alive. So this was in the mid 90s. And TV moves quick. You have 30 seconds to deliver a message. You have 60 seconds and you can't pause. You can't take a breath. But with podcasts, you can take as much time as you want. And that concept is new to me. So I rush sometimes and I really need to chill a bit. I need to relax and not feel like I have to fill every second of airtime. I have to embrace the pause. But at what point does pausing too long become awkward? Probably right now. Are you ready for another episode of Podfulness? Let's get to it. We're about to spend some time with Zayd. He is my guest this week. Zayd is almost 17 years old. He plays in his bands at school. He is an athlete. He spends a lot of time on his device, and we'll get to that. And I have to tell you right now that Zayd and I, we played a game at the end of the episode where about, 1/5 of the way through, I knew it was going to be a really long game for him. I was asking him questions that he had no clue how to answer. I feel kind of bad because the game was really hard, but I'm going to leave it in there. It's not quite cringe-worthy, but I felt bad for the guy. But he had a good spirit about it, so I think that in the end, he felt like a winner, even though he scored pretty much no points. So that should be fun for you. So without further ado, whatever ado is, let's get to the interview with Zayd. Zayd, welcome to Podfulness. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah,
so
of
tell
course.
everybody that's listening or watching on YouTube a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Zayd. Yeah, I'm about to turn 17. I'm 16. So yeah, I'm interested in all sorts of things.
Right.
I love hanging out with my friends. I love playing baseball. Love doing all that kinds of stuff.
What
Love
position are
spending
you in
time.
baseball? What position do you play?
I play like catcher right now, catcher and pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just kind of all around the place, just trying to help out my team.
Right.
But yeah, I love spending time with my family. Yeah,
And
doing
you're a musician
puzzles.
too, aren't you?
Yeah, I play French horn and trumpet in my bands at school, so that's really fun.
Do you like one better than the other?
I've been playing French horn definitely longer, so that's kind of like I like it more, but at the same time, trumpet's a lot easier to learn and it's a lot of fun playing jazz trumpet and in that style, yeah.
Right. So you are in two bands at your school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one is where you play the French horn, and that's what is
Yeah,
that called?
that's wind ensemble in my school, and then where I play trumpet is called jazz ensemble.
Okay. Do you play for fun at home, or do you only play when you know you have to practice for a
I mean,
performance?
I think this year especially I've started to play more of my French horn for fun at home because I've started to like really get into it, really
Right.
enjoy it. Trumpet, I would say it's a lot of fun to play like, little jazz licks on the trumpet. I say like that's a lot of fun. But definitely like practicing the harder things is still something that I don't like to do a ton.
Right. Of course. Nobody does. Practice practice is practice, right? Game time is a
Hmm.
lot more fun.
Yeah.
So would you play, like when you go to college, do you think you'd play in a band in college, play trumpet?
Yeah. I don't know
I mean, I'm
about
talking about like a
trumpet.
rock band, like a
A
party band,
rock
not
band?
necessarily like a
Oh,
marching band or
yeah,
something.
no, honestly, yeah, I haven't really thought about that a ton, but that would be really fun now that you mention it, like playing in a band, but I would probably have to put myself out there more.
What do you mean? Are you an introvert?
I wouldn't say I'm an introvert, but like when it comes to the band space, I just kind of do it for fun right now, and
Yeah.
I would say I'm not super involved, but trying to get more involved, trying to develop more relationships with people.
Okay. And you're able to do that off your phone?
Yeah, yeah, I would
Yeah.
say so for the most part. Yeah.
So would you say that that's networking? That's what we adults probably call networking,
Yeah, is that the
developing
fancy
relationships.
term?
That's the
Yeah,
fa
yeah, yeah.
it's the
Trying to
fancy term,
network. Yeah.
right? So what do you want to do when you get out of high school? What are your interests?
Yeah, I want to pursue some sort of degree in probably economics or political science, somewhere around those
No
areas, maybe.
kidding.
Yeah.
How does a 16, soon to be 17-year-old get interested in economics?
I don't know, from like since I was a little kid, I've just always been kind of interested in finance and like I started investing at a really young age. That was a lot of fun for me. But I don't know, it's just always kind of clicked in my brain.
Was it an investment club like through school where you were using play money or were you using
Um,
real money?
no, it was real money. I started when I was about like I would say like 9 or 10. My dad tried to set up like an account like where
Hmm.
it'd be under his name and then I could kind of control the investments. I don't it's not like I have like a ton of money in it, super safe investments obviously, but
Right. So what,
yeah,
you were
just
investing in Apple?
yeah, basically, just like the major companies. You got like Apple, you got Microsoft, all of those companies, but
Microsoft,
nothing
if you're
big.
watching it now, didn't Microsoft, because of their relationship with AI, isn't their stock going a little bit higher because they kind of own
Yeah,
that
yeah,
market?
it is. It's interesting right now. It
Yeah.
is going a little higher.
So if you're into numbers, I know you also play fantasy football, right?
Hmm.
So are there similarities between watching the stock market and watching some players and their fantasy value?
Definitely, it's definitely like a big thing. And I mean, obviously, the thing with fantasy football is it's just so unpredictable. You can never predict what's going to happen with a player, whether they're going to get injured. You just don't know what's going to happen. So you just kind of have to. It's very spontaneous. It's very, you know, you just have to see what happens with the player and just go from there. Really, yeah.
Yeah. Who's your main football team that you cheer for?
I cheer for the Colts.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. All right. Very
I'm a
nice.
big Colts fan.
Awesome. So other sports teams that you follow? Who are they?
I follow the Cardinals. My family has been a diehard Cardinals fan base family for the
Yeah.
longest time. I mean, going back generations. And that's baseball for anybody who doesn't know. But
Thank you for that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Big Cardinals family.
People
We've
were
just
thinking the
been,
Phoenix Cardinals, and then
yeah,
they
you
realized,
can
no,
never
they're,
know. Arizona Cardinals,
yeah, all right.
but
A Phoenix. That's where they play. Thank you for setting me straight, Zayd.
yeah,
I know you're also into baking. That's one of your hobbies.
yeah, yeah. I love to bake with my mom. That's a lot of fun, definitely. Um, I wouldn't say I'm very good at it, but I definitely love to partake and just like bake really simple things. It gives me a feeling of satisfaction, I would say.
Right. Because you said, I know you're looking at a career maybe in economics or political science, but your dream job would be to be a food critic.
Yeah, I do. I just love good food and to be able to evaluate how much I enjoy a certain food and get paid for that. That just sounds like awesome to
To
me.
get
Yeah.
paid for it and have your meal covered.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly.
oh my gosh. So what is your
Dream
favorite
job.
genre of food? Do you like Greek food, Italian food?
I do. I love Italian food. I was recently in Chicago and we had a really good Italian meal there. Me and my family, and yeah, it was fantastic. It was expensive, but it was
Yeah.
definitely worth it.
Well, did you tell them who you were going to be in the future? They would have comped your meal.
Maybe they would have. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, being a food critic isn't necessarily what I think I might pursue, but it's definitely a dream job, I would say. Yeah.
Right. Tell me about your personality. I always send a questionnaire out to folks, so thanks for filling that out. And you mentioned
Yeah.
that part of your personality is that you're flexible.
Yeah, I would say in my family, definitely have to be a more like flexible person. Um, I just try to kind of go with the flow, and sometimes it's hard to do that, but you just gotta go with the flow, just gotta keep going through life and
So
face the
what makes your
challenges.
family unique that you need that flexibility?
My sister has a disability, and that just kind of limits our family. But obviously, I love my sister. I love our family, for the way that we are, and
Yeah.
yeah, I just try to be helpful and supportful any way I can.
How has having a sister with special needs affected the way you are with other people, even
I think,
strangers?
yeah, I think it's definitely brought on a mindset of trying to like not assume too much about people and trying to be kind because you don't know where people come from, you don't know what situation they're in. And I really like try to spread that message throughout the world.
Right. Are your friends like you? Do you feel like you have like-minded friends?
I mean, I don't know. Some of them are like-minded, some are not, but sometimes, I don't have to agree with everything with my friends.
Right.
I just kind of I love my friends for who they are, not necessarily like who they're not.
Oh, all right. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, I asked you what three famous people, dead or alive, you'd like to have dinner with.
Mm.
And these three were not on my radar, at least not in my life, right? So number one is John D. Rockefeller.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're going to ask him questions related to economics, right?
I mean, yeah, definitely something like that. I mean, he was just dominant and one of the richest American of all time for sure.
Yep.
And at one point just controlled, I believe, 90% of America's oil, which is that's just massive. So I would definitely
Right.
ask him a lot of questions about the steps he had to take to be able to get to that point in
Right.
his life.
And then someone else who liked to dominate was Genghis Khan. He
Genghis
was all,
Khan.
he was, what would you ask
Yeah.
Genghis?
I didn't really have any questions in mind for him, but I just think he's a really interesting guy. Like, I just want to know what's going on in his mental state. I don't.
Sure.
Yeah,
Right.
just super, super complex
And then
personality, I think.
And then you also said Marcus Aurelius. I had a friend in grade school who used to call me that. And I didn't have Google around and I had no idea
Yeah.
what he was even talking about. So, Marcus Aurelius, why him? He was a Roman Empire or a Roman leader, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was the Roman emperor basically that marked like the golden age of Rome. And he was definitely like I think he was a super like empathetic but also feared person, which I think is really like admirable. And I would want to know like just about him and how he kind of went about that to be in such a position of power
Yeah.
and be feared by his enemies but loved by the people in Rome.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, let me know when that dinner happens and I'll come over
I
and
will. I will.
I'd like to record that on video. Zayd, I have a hat here where
Mm.
I've put in a bunch of random questions. Do you mind if I reach in and ask you a few?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so here we go. Nothing is pre-planned. Just grabbing one of these questions. Here we go. This question is, other than health and children, okay, let me change that. Other than health and
Hmm.
family, unless do you have any
Okay.
children of your own?
Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet. Okay. What is your most priceless possession other than your health and your family?
Ooh. Um, Honestly, I would probably say my phone,
Your
which
phone.
is,
Priceless.
I mean, yeah, I would think like a lot of people around my age would also say that just because almost our world revolves like around our
That's true.
phones. Yeah.
That's true. All right. Let me ask you another one here. This question is, Zaid, what historical event would you like to go back in time and experience? You can just
Hmm.
be there when it happens. You'd be safe. Nothing would happen to you. You'd just be seeing it as it happens.
Okay. I would probably say um the spark that started World War One, the when oh what's his name? But it's it's when the Black Hand basically assassinates Franz Ferdinand. That's his
Oh
name.
yeah, okay.
And I think I would be, because what I've read, that's a really like chaotic scene. And it's I don't know if you've heard like of the butterfly effect and how that works, but it's basically like a small event
Uh-huh.
spiraling and like
Right.
leading to like different events in the future, like way in the future, and really had that like super small
So
event.
this was the first pebble
Yeah.
dropped in the water, and then
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
totally.
you're going to a dark moment.
I guess, yeah.
And then
History's
finally,
dark.
one more question here. What would you want with you if you were stranded on a desert island? There's no
Probably
Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi, Zayd.
no Wi-Fi.
No,
Oh, that's tough
no
then.
data plan.
I would probably say another person, because I know like even if I'm not gonna survive, at least I'm not gonna go crazy or anything like that. So I'll probably need like another person, whether it be a stranger or someone I'm super close to, just anybody to keep me company on that desert island.
I would probably want another person who knows how to build a boat out of
Oh
sand.
yeah, that would probably be smart. I didn't know if we were
Super
getting that
helpful.
specific.
Well, no, I just decided to go that way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
All right. So, Zayd, is there any
totally.
question that you have for me? I like to, since I'm talking to teenagers, I like to be a mentor
Hmm.
to them. So, is there any question about adult life that you have that you've been pondering? If not, that's okay.
How, it's a question about this podcast actually. Like,
Oh,
how did you come about to create Podfulness, and how did that kind of start for you?
well, Zayd, it's always been a dream of mine since 2020 to have a podcast. No,
Hmm.
I needed a hobby, right? So I've
Yeah.
got two boys of my own who don't really need me as much as they used to. One is 17,
Hmm.
which is your age, and one's in college. And I needed to find something to do with my free time. Otherwise, I was going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And I have a background in television and I like editing. And so I thought it would be fun. And I wanted to uh, talk to my friends about what podcasts they listen to and that they
Hmm.
can recommend. So I can listen to them. And then I thought, I'll just make a show about it. So the first
Yeah.
season was just my friends and my colleagues coming on and talking about their favorite podcasts, many of which now I listen to in rotation because I'm in my car a lot for my job.
Hmm.
And then the second season, I just thought it would be fun to bring teenagers on to find out what they're listening to.
Yeah.
So it was really created out of necessity. Otherwise, I'd go crazy.
Yeah.
I like to talk to people. That's maybe my only talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm sure you have many more talents. Hey, I've heard your music.
oh,
That's a
Zayd, we
talent
can.
in itself. That it's just
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it's amazing.
Love
You're,
the albums. Big fan.
yeah, thanks, Zayd. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to take a little break, and what we're going to do after this is we're going to talk about what you're streaming.
All right, sounds good.
Well, Zayd, you asked me about my podcast, so let me ask you this: are there any podcasts that you listen to?
I listened to a podcast, oddly enough, about fantasy football, which we talked about earlier.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, it's a ESPN fantasy football podcast, and honestly, I just think a couple of the guys on there are just pretty funny. So it kind of brings a bright spot to my day to listen to that, even if I feel really like nerdy doing it, honestly.
And does this podcast,
Um,
do they only have episodes during the football season, or is it year round?
uh, I believe it's the ones I listen to are usually only during the football season.
Yeah,
I'm not a humongous football fan where I follow it constantly during
yeah,
the off season. It's mainly during season for me. Yeah.
right. What about your parents? Is there a podcast that they listen to religiously?
Yeah, my mom is a big fan of like true crime podcasts.
It's so popular.
Yes, really popular, especially among her age group, kind of like middle-aged white women.
Right.
But yeah, she loves the true crime. She'll listen to it while she's doing anything really, work, cleaning, helping out with my brother, anything like that. Yeah.
Do you ever hear her just gasp
Yes, all the
and it
time, which
freaks
I
you out? Like she's hurt
yeah,
herself?
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
wondering like what's happening, what's going on. And she'll tell me about this story that's happening in the podcast, which is a super, like long, drawn on story.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I kind of understand what's happening now.
Yeah. Mom, just let me know you're okay. I don't need to know the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
story of what you've been listening to. All right. So movie wise, do you like going to the movies or do you prefer watching them at home?
I definitely love going to the movies. I definitely enjoy watching them in theater more, but anything major that I don't catch in theaters, I'll definitely watch it at home. When it comes on one of the streaming services,
Yep.
I'm not paying a ton of money to seek out Trolls 2 or whatever.
Well, the funny thing is you don't have to anymore, right? Like if
Yeah,
you have a
that's
couple
true.
streaming services, you have enough to keep you busy. During the writer's strike, I know a lot of shows stopped production, but there was so much from a viewer standpoint, there was so much I hadn't seen yet that I didn't
Hmm.
really notice the writer's strike, but I know they did. I'm glad they've worked all of that out. Were you into the whole Barbenheimer craze? Did you see both of those
Um,
movies?
I saw Barbie in theaters, but I did not see Oppenheimer, mainly because I couldn't get my mom to go with me because she didn't want to see it, and I didn't really get it figured out with my dad because I'm not to the age yet where I can watch those R-rated movies
Oh, I
in
see.
theaters
Have
by
you ever seen
myself.
an R-rated movie, Zayd?
In theaters
Oh
or
yeah,
at home?
yeah, yeah. At
In
home, I'm. It's a little different at home.
No, never. I've never seen an R. I'm not to that point yet. I got to be 18 plus before it's legal
Well,
for me to do
that's
that.
interesting, Zayd, because you said that one of your favorite movies is The Wolf of Wall Street, and I'm pretty sure that's not PG.
I don't know. I watched the PG version.
Oh, you
I just
did?
censor out, yeah, all the
Yeah.
cursing,
It
yeah.
was like 7 minutes. That movie was so, that scene where Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio are tripping out in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
I cannot, I was so, I was on the floor laughing so hard. They did such a great job with
Yeah,
that.
it's hilarious.
On your list is The Dark Knight, probably one of the greatest movies of all time,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, I
Every
love
time
The
I
Dark
watch it, there's
Knight.
something new to watch to see in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
you have all the classics. So what about TV shows? What's your favorite TV show?
Right now I've honestly have not been watching a ton of TV, but I have been replaying TV shows like Friends and The Office, obviously like big
Yeah.
classics.
Yep.
But Parks and Rec too. Those are kind of my three like favorite TV shows of all time.
Yeah,
But
it's interesting because The Office and Parks and Rec, uh, they're so different in their comedy,
hmm
right? One you watch
yeah,
and you feel good, the other one's just so cringy, but they're both so
yeah,
funny.
yeah. I love the comedy in both of them. It's very different, it's contrasting, but I definitely love it.
So would you say you spend more time streaming video or listening to music?
I would probably say streaming video, but most of it being on my phone, probably. Whether that be like apps like TikTok or YouTube.
Yep. So even though you have probably a nice sized TV at home, right?
Hmm.
You would still rather watch this screen right here than a bigger screen.
I would say it's mainly just convenience for me.
Okay.
It's especially when I'm feeling lazy and I feel like watching something, it's just so much easier to watch that on my phone than, have to get up and walk 30 feet downstairs.
Yeah, it's so far. So what, and you have to do steps.
I know.
So what are you watching on YouTube? Just whatever, like you just go to the search bar and search for some of your favorite.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube definitely recommends a lot of good stuff that I like to watch, just whether that be on the homepage, with all the data they collect of me.
So
I think
much.
they know more about me than I know about myself.
Isn't that
But
something?
yeah, it's so interesting.
I
But
mean, there's no app there. Every app has an algorithm, right? So
mhm.
TikTok is constantly recommending things to you. Um, Snapchat probably not. Well, Snapchat has a For You page, right? Sort
Um,
of.
they have kind of like something similar to TikTok and like Instagram Reels. I
Right.
believe it's called Spotlight. Yeah, I don't watch that a ton though.
Okay. But it's wild on YouTube. I just look up like football highlights and then it's 10 greatest
Hmm.
catches, 15 most
Yeah,
amazing plays by a punter,
yeah,
worst coaching decisions ever. It's
yeah.
nonstop.
It's
There's no end to
unlimited
YouTube.
entertainment.
Have you ever seen the first video ever that was aired on YouTube?
Yeah, the one from I forget who the creator is, but it's like something about the zoo.
Yeah, he went to the zoo and it was like a
Uh-huh.
30-second
It's
video.
just yeah, super simple.
Who would have known that that would have launched
Yeah, it's crazy.
this mega company? What's your favorite non-social app?
I love like this color by game app or color like it's kind of like a color by number app almost called like
Okay.
I Love Hue, where you kind of have
HUE, I'm
to
assuming.
HUE,
Yeah.
yeah, Hue. And you kind of just have to like match up the colors to make like a perfect little shape. And it's really satisfying once you
Okay.
get like you get it because all the colors blend in perfectly with each other. So it just
So
gives me that dopamine rush, I would say,
that's
once
right.
I get it.
So there's ASMR, which is auditory. And then
Yeah.
there are things like that app, which is visual, right?
Hmm.
So really, you feel a dopamine rush when you get it?
I would say like a mini dopamine rush, yeah, but it makes me feel like I feel like it's a different dopamine rush than say like watching something like a YouTube video or a TikTok,
Right.
like watching TikToks because it's more interactive first of all because I'm moving all these things and I would say yeah, I would just say it's a different experience in my brain.
Okay. Okay. Do you think you could go a day without your phone?
I think I could definitely. And I mean I have in the past. Whether that be on like vacations or something like that.
Right.
Like I went on a camping trip with my family a while back, and I went, 3 or 4 days without my phone, which wasn't necessarily impossible. I mean, it was challenging, but at
Yeah,
the same
sure.
time, it kind of made me realize that a lot of the stuff I do on my phone isn't necessary in day-to-day life, and it really just like kind of distracts me from the beauty of life sometimes.
The best trip I ever took was when we went to Yellowstone a few years ago, and they have no service in
Hmm.
Yellowstone. And people were looking up and looking around and taking pictures for each other. And then as soon as you got back to where you had a signal, it was
Yeah,
over. That interaction was over. So,
yeah,
well, Zayd, I like that you have control over it. Because if you don't, it's going to control you for
yeah.
sure. And what I want to do right now is I want to move on to game time because I have a game that I'm a little worried you're not going to get any of the answers correct.
I'm excited. I
Okay,
think I'll get some of the answers. Don't
we
doubt me
shall,
too much.
we will find out. When I graduated from high school, the number one song in the country was One More Try by George Michael. Have you ever heard that song before?
I've never heard that song
Have you
before.
heard of George Michael?
I have heard of him, yeah.
Okay, he was in Wham and all
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
so I loved listening to music as a teenager, as most teenagers do. So what I
Hmm.
did, Zayd, was I asked your mom, what year did she graduate from high school? Do you know when she graduated from high school?
Ooh, no, I don't think so.
It was
I should.
1994.
Okay.
Okay. And so I looked up online what were the top 10 most popular songs from 1994.
Mm,
And we're going to find out if you're able to give the answers in this game that I'm calling Chart Toppers.
okay. That's
So what
fun.
I'm going to do is I'm going to play you the introduction of the song,
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
we'll see if you can figure out if you've even heard the song, if you know the title or the band, and then I'll play you part of the chorus. Now, for copyright reasons, I can only play 10 seconds of the song.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Spotify won't let me air this show
Yeah.
because I'm not paying for the rights to these songs, right? But you can use just a little bit of it.
You don't have
So
the money for that?
not quite yet. I don't have the
One
advertising
day.
revenue, but soon. So we're going to start with song number 10 for the year 1994. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so listen close. This is just the introduction. Here we go. Cue it up and action.
I will survive.
That's all you get.
Okay.
That's just the introduction. You have no clue, correct?
Yeah, I have no clue. Yeah.
Perhaps people in the audience know this is the number 10 song for 1994. Here's part of the
Hmm.
chorus.
All right.
Don't turn around, 'cause you're gonna see my heart breaking. Don't turn around, I don't want you seeing me cry.
That's all you get.
Okay.
Zayd, what's the title of that song?
Um, I really have no clue, but maybe like Heartbreak or something like that. I don't
Heartbreak.
know.
The title was Don't Turn Around
Oh, okay. Is
by
it
the group.
Madonna? No.
No. Ace of Base.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This okay, so you have a new favorite song to look up. Are you
All
ready?
right. All right.
So
Yeah.
you didn't get anything there. No points.
It's okay.
This is song number 9 for the year 1994. That's all you get. Have you heard that introduction ever?
I've never heard that introduction.
Okay,
No.
then that means you'll probably never heard this chorus. Here's the chorus of the
Yeah.
song.
All that she was is another baby. She's gone tomorrow, boy. All that she was is another baby. Yeah.
Music wasn't so good in 1994, was it?
I mean, I would say it's definitely a style of music.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Now, do you know what band that was?
I have really no clue. I mean, like, I wish I even knew any 90s bands. I feel like I should, but
Well, I will let you know that that's the same band as number 10.
oh, wow.
Ace of
That's
Base.
rough.
Their second top 10 hit that year, All That She Wants.
Okay,
Okay, are you ready? We need to move on.
we
I
do.
really want you to know one of these songs, okay?
I really want to know one of these songs.
So here we go. Here we go. It's the intro to song number 8 for the year 1994.
In love you live. I'll make a stand, I won't break. I'll be the rock you can build on.
Do you recognize any of those
I
voices?
mean, like, I slightly recognize kind of that voice, but I don't even. Oh, I'm searching for names.
Three individuals, three
Oh,
artists
okay.
that were very popular in music
Oh,
during that time and before. And here is the chorus. Tell me if you can come up with a song title by the chorus. Here we go.
Let's make it all fun, all for love.
Oh, yeah. How about that?
that All for Love.
All for Love. Congratulations, Zayd. You're on the board.
All right.
Did you recognize any of those voices?
Not really, but maybe if you say them, I'll recognize one of them.
Bryan Adams,
Yeah.
Rod
Yeah.
Stewart,
Okay.
and Sting.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe you know him as
Yeah.
Gordon Sumner. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got 1 point so far out of 20,
All right.
which isn't
All
bad.
right.
All right. This is the number 7 song from 1994. What would be funny is if your mom would even know any of these. I guarantee you're not
I
going to
would
know.
like to see.
Ready? Here's
Yeah.
the intro to song number 7 for the year.
If I never feel you in my arms again.
I'm just going to go straight to the chorus. All right.
Yeah.
Here's the chorus.
Breathe again, then I shall never breathe again.
Any idea?
I don't really have a clue, to be honest.
No, I don't have a clue would be a good title for that song. It was
Yeah.
Breathe Again by Tony Braxton. How did you
Breathe
not know
Again.
that, Zayd?
I should have guessed Breathe Again by the words, but just kind
The
of
words,
lost.
the words are a really good giveaway. Okay,
Breathe
this is song
Again.
number 6 for the year 1994. You're not going to get a lot, but anybody that knows the song will know it right away from this
All right,
opening
all right.
guitar riff.
Oh,
That's all you get. This is for $1 million. Listen to that.
I just lost $1 million.
You just lost $1 million. That's okay. Here's the chorus, or part of the chorus.
So I turned the radio on, I turned the radio on, and this woman was singing my song. Lovers in love and the others run away.
You have no idea what that song is, do you?
No, I don't. I really need to touch up on my 90s music, I guess. I'm slacking.
Did you ever hear of a movie, Reality Bites, with Ben Stiller and Ethan Hawke and Janine Garofalo?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
That's okay. That song was called Stay by Lisa Loeb.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
Are you just humoring me right now?
No. I know who Lisa Loeb is.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not that uncultured.
We're all right, now we're in the top 5. This is the number 5 song for 1994. You ready?
Yep.
Here's the open. A little applause. He's coming out on stage. The piano is playing in the background. That's all you get for the open. And then we get to the chorus. And here we go.
And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on.
Oh, who is that diva?
I've heard that before, but I should know who it is.
Do you know the name of the song?
Is it Strength to Carry On, or is it no? I don't know.
Hero.
Oh,
It's called Hero. And it's Mariah
oh, duh.
Mariah
Jeez.
Carey. Zayd, I'm so sorry. I made this game so hard. This is so difficult.
No, it's just I've just not been catching up on my 90s music, really.
You know what? I guarantee you're not going to get the top 4. So I'm just going to play the chorus. Okay.
All right.
I'm not even going to give you the intros. This is the chorus, song number 4 for the year 1994.
'Cause I'm your lady, and you are my man.
I'll give you a hint. She sang the title song to Titanic. Did you ever see the movie Titanic?
Oh yeah, but I don't remember the title song.
I think she's
feel like-
French or maybe French
I
Canadian.
feel like I should know these voices. I don't know.
That was The Power of Love by Celine Dion.
Oh,
Yes. Oh, Zayd, this is a challenge. Here we go. This is the number 3 song. Oh, gosh. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here,
I'm
here
ready.
we go.
Okay. I know this one. It's
You
All
do?
Make Love to You. It's All Make Love to You.
Of course,
right?
it's All Make Love to You by the group.
Boys to Men.
You got it, Zayd. How do you
Go.
know Boys to Men?
I don't know. That's like one of the few '90s songs I do know. I only know like very specific genre, and that's a Motown label that I do know.
That's
yeah.
awesome. You are bringing it home. Okay, so that means
All
number
right,
2.
all right.
Are you ready for number 2?
I am ready. I'm
Here
ready.
we go. Number 1, the number 2 song from 1994.
And I swear by the moon and the stars and the skies, I'll be there.
All right, who is that, or what song is that?
It's I swear.
Yeah.
Obviously, and
Yeah.
it's like Kenny Rogers.
Kenny,
I don't know.
oh, Kenny Wishes. That
I don't
was
know.
All for One. That's the name of the group.
Really?
Yep. Not to be confused with All for Love, which was the number 8 song that year.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
okay.
Zayd, the number 1 song in 1994
Number
is a
one
song by someone you've already heard in this top 10.
All right.
Okay. Are you
All right.
ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to give you just the open for those playing at home, and they might want to hear just the open. Here's the opening to that song. Nice little groove.
Oh, I know this too.
Maybe you've seen it on TikTok, probably not. Oh, yeah. So here we go. This is the chorus. I just realized something. You strike me as a very crafty young man. I wouldn't be surprised if you were trying to Shazam that song as it was playing.
Shazam it?
Yeah.
I
That
don't
would've
think
been-
I can because
Oh.
of the headphones.
Ah, there you go. All right. Do
I
you
wish,
recognize that
though.
song? Do you recognize that too?
I mean, I assume it's the same voice as like the Ace of Base.
Ace of Base.
or
That's right. Their
whatever.
third song in the top 10 for the
Third
year
song. That's
94.
impressive. They had a good album that year, I
They
guess.
had a good run.
That's impressive. Yeah.
It was The Sign.
The Sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should know by the words. I feel like a lot of those '90s songs have all the
Yeah,
words. In
that's
the
right, the
song.
words in the
That's
title.
what I've just been trying to guess most of the time, but I've been failing a lot.
What do you think? Should we do songs number 11 through 40 right now, just for fun, for
Oh,
1994?
yeah. I mean, I could definitely get at least like half of them.
Go,
For sure.
go on like
Got to stay
this.
confident. You know,
Oh.
I'm very confident in my ability right now.
So that was chart toppers. I don't know if I'm going to break that one out again for the rest of the year. Maybe I will.
Maybe with someone who has a more broad musical expertise.
Okay, I will wait. We had Paige on episode 3. She was really into 90s music. I should have
Yeah.
used it with her. Yeah.
Paige
So
seems like she knows '90s music.
she does indeed. Well, Zayd, that is all of our time.
All right.
Is this the first podcast you've ever been on?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I mean, my dad's done, I think, a couple, but this is my first, so it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, well,
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Zayd. And thanks for everyone out there who's listening, wherever you're streaming your favorite podcasts. And if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for checking us out. We'll see you next time on another episode of
Podfulness.